Hi everybody, welcome to California Style Tai Chi. This is a form of Tai Chi that I have adapted and invented along with my students at Allen Hancock College. And it has several advantages over traditional Tai Chi. First, it's easy to learn. Second, it's easy to practice. And finally, it's easy to remember. You'll find that it's not hard at all because we do most of our moves 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. And let me give you an example of that right now. I'll show you the first move that we're going to learn. All right, watch this. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Starting with ball holding cat stance on the right. Rush knee and push. Ball holding cat stance on the left. Rush knee and push. Ball holding cat stance on the right. That's our 2 steps forward. Now 2 steps back. Diagonal step. White crane spreads wings. Ball holding cat stance on the left. Diagonal step. White crane spreads wings. Ball holding cat stance on the right, and we're back where we started. Then we come down to balanced position. Now, that was 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, with ball holding cat stance on each side. Let me show it to you without intervening moves, just ball holding cat stance on each side. Watch this. Ball holding cat stance on the right. 1 step forward, ball holding cat stance on the left. Another step forward, back to ball holding cat stance on the right. Now we go back. 1 step back, ball holding cat stance on the left. Another step back, ball holding cat stance on the right, and down to balanced position. Balanced position is with our weight evenly balanced on both legs. Now let me show it to you without any arm work, just the 2 steps forward. Just look at the footwork. I hold my hands up like this for balance. I shift onto the right side. This is called cat stance. Heel step, shifting forward into bow stance, cat stance. That's 1 step forward. Same thing on the other side. Heel step, bow stance, cat stance, and now we go back. This is called diagonal step, shifting the weight back to empty step, cat stance. That's 1 step back, diagonal step, empty step, cat stance, and down. That's the basic pattern that we're going to use throughout the sequence. So that's what we're going to learn first, is just the footwork. But I want to give you a sense of what Tai Chi involves that's so good for your legs and hips, which is moving with your knees bent instead of straight. For the moment, stand like this, with your feet a little bit wide apart, and bend both knees. As soon as you do that, you can feel the muscles of your thighs and calves working. This is what's good for helping prevent osteoporosis, keeping the bones strong by making your leg muscles work. When you stand up with your legs straight like this, you'll notice there's no effort involved at all. Your muscles aren't having to work because your bones are doing all the work of supporting the weight of your body. It's only when you bend your knees that your muscles have to start working. That's why Tai Chi is much better than walking, and even better than running, as a means of preventing osteoporosis. Now shift your weight over onto your right leg, and let your left leg straighten. The right knee is bent, the left leg is straight, the weight's on the right leg. Come back to the center, both knees are slightly bent. Shift over to the left, the right knee is straight, the left leg is bent. This is the basic principle. The weight-bearing leg is bent, the other leg is often straight. Come back to the center and up to balanced position with both legs straight. Now, most of the time, what we're going to be doing is moving forward and backward. So let's practice that same sort of thing with the knees bent, forward and backward. Shift your weight onto your right leg and take a step forward with your left foot. Then shift forward onto your left leg. Bend your left knee. Your right leg is straight. This left knee being bent, it's bent like a bow, so this is called bow stance. Now notice, your upper body stays vertical. You don't bend forward. you stay vertical with your upper body. You just shift the weight from leg to leg. Shift the weight back. Now the weight's on the rear leg. There's very little weight on the forward leg. This is called empty step because this leg is empty with no weight on it. But the right leg is bent, the right knee is bent, the muscles are working hard. Shift forward onto the left leg again. The right leg is straight, left leg is bent in bow stance. Shift back to empty step. The right knee, bearing the weight, is bent. The left leg is straight. Now, step back to balanced position. Let's do that on the other side. Shift your weight onto your left leg. When you do that, bend your left knee. If the left leg is bearing the weight, the left knee should be bent a little bit, just as far as is comfortable for you. Take a small step forward with your right foot. Don't step way forward like this. Just sort of extend the leg in a comfortable position. Put the foot flat. Then shift forward into bow stance on the right leg. The right knee is bent. The muscles are working. Left leg is straight. The upper body is vertical. We're not leaning forward. We're not leaning back. We're just staying nice and straight. Now practice. Bring your hands up like this. Practice shifting your weight back onto the left leg, bending the left knee. The right leg is straight. Shift forward onto the right leg, bending the right knee. Left leg is straight. The upper body stays vertical, and notice, if you flatten your hands, your body stays at the same level as you go forward and back. It doesn't come up and down like that. Because what happens in the middle, both knees are slightly bent. And you come forward, the forward knee is bent. Come to the middle, both knees are bent. Shift all the way back. The rear knee is bent, the forward leg is straight. And come back to balanced position. Practice that shifting forward and back until you can get used to moving forward and back without going up and down. All right, shift your weight onto your right leg, bend the right knee, extend the left foot. Now don't take a big step. As I said, don't step so far forward that your body moves forward. Just straighten the leg and put the heel down. This is called heel step. Then put the foot down, shift forward into bow stance. Can you see why this is called bow stance? Because the leg is curved like a bow. This knee is bent, this leg is straight. The weight is sort of forward on this leg, but notice my body is upright. I'm not leaning forward like that. My body's upright. Then I shift back. Shift your weight back onto your right leg, bend your right knee. Notice the upper body continues to stay vertical. It stays at the same level. Going forward, bending the left knee, coming back, bending the right knee. Have your right foot turned out slightly. Don't have it pointing straight ahead. Have it turned out just a little bit. That makes for greater solidness. Now pretend you're holding a ball. And as you shift forward, you push the ball forward, bring it down, and then pull it back in as you shift your weight back. Empty step, push forward into bow stance. Don't lean forward, just extend your arms and then draw them in, shifting forward and back. This is a nice Tai Chi ball exercise, pretending that you're holding a ball between your hands. Now let's turn around and do that on the other side. Bring the ball back in, come back to balanced position, turn around. This time the weight's on the left leg. Turn your left foot out slightly, turn it out a little bit, bend your left knee. Heel step with the right foot. Just extend the right leg, put the heel down, shift forward. Bring your hands up. First, we'll just shift forward onto the right leg. Bow stance, shift back, empty step. This weight-bearing leg is bent. The non-weight-bearing leg is straight. Shift forward into bow stance. The rear leg straightens. Shift back. The rear leg bends. Now, pretend you're holding the ball. Shift forward. Extend your arms, but don't lean forward. Bring the ball down to waist level. Shift back, draw the ball in, bring it up. Breathe out as you shift forward, pull the ball down. Breathe in as you shift back, bend that left knee. Exhale forward, bend the right knee, and come back. And come down to balanced position. You can do that exercise as an exercise all in itself, just to get the idea of the fact that when we're doing Tai Chi, we're a little bit lower than normal. one knee or the other is always bent.